Good evening, everyone. This is your average Jen coming at you from my room. So today's episode is Accountability Nation. What was it? Jay's updates. And it's going to be a little bit different because Jay was just on the last episode, so you do get a little bit of the updates from him. But again, this was recorded probably back in November. Let me look here. When was this recorded? Yep, November 2023. So let's see what his updates were back then and how he was doing. Let me share my screen. Sorry about all the clicking. Click, click, click. There we go. Dismiss you, whatever you are. And play. We're not listening to that. There we go. Well, hello there, and welcome to Accountability Nation as presented by I'm Only Human, the podcast that attempts to explain how to coexist with other humans. Self accountability is something that will change our world. This podcast strain is Jay's project. We may stay focused on the original topic, or we may drift way off course. Either way, it will be an adventure. Before we begin, we would like to state that we are not experts, and we don't claim to be. We will, however, be talking about a lot of heated topics and some mellow things. It all leads back to taking accountability for your own actions, whether good or bad. Through recovery, healing is possible. We believe that changed minds and attitudes can change our world. I've pushed record. Go right ahead.
All right. So, hi, everyone. I'm Jason of Accountability Nation. And a while ago, we had talked about how I had to own a situation where I lost the job thanks to a medication I had taken. I wasn't prescribed. I was having a gout flare up while I was working at a speedway. And I was there really for about a month till I was going to take on this new job in the transportation industry. And when I failed the drug test, I lost that job. I lost my CDL and I lost all those opportunities. Well, fast forward a couple of months, and I've been working for over a month now with Amazon delivering packages. I also work for Planet Fitness a couple days a week, just cleaning up the gym, checking people in and out, talking to guests, things like that. So I have landed on my feet and I'm able to live my lifestyle with the jobs that I am working. I really only work two because I'm trying to catch up from the year that I basically didn't work much at all. I lost all my savings because I had to survive, and I'm around 10 grand in debt with rent and car and other things to family who have lent me some money. So I'm working two jobs now so I can catch up as quick as possible. I'm hoping that in a year from now, I will be in a better financial situation and I can start rebuilding my savings because I was at that point in life where I was no longer living paycheck to paycheck and I want to get back there. That is honestly the greatest feeling in the world, to not have to be stressed out financially. All your bills are paid, they're paid on time. My credit was going up and I destroyed all that in a year of poor mental health, poor physical health, injuries, illnesses, and whatever else. So now that I'm able to start rebuilding and working on those things with the new jobs, I'm in a much better place. And I think ultimately what it came down to is that transportation job may not have been right for me. And it was intervention from a higher power that stepped in a sense, and said that this isn't the spot you're supposed to be. And it took me a while to figure it out. I was really sad when I lost that job. When I found the Amazon job, I was like, you know what, this fits what I like to do. I love to drive. I love to be active. So those are a lot of the main points of why I do what I do now. I basically paid to work out almost 8 hours a day. I mean, there's a lot of drive time, of course. I typically drive a half hour to a location, start doing my deliveries, then the half hour, 40 minutes back to the Amazon location after. And I absolutely love what I do. And I think finding that right balance for myself and finding some inner peace in what I do now has been incredibly helpful towards reaching my bigger goals, because I'm still working on losing weight. I'm still working on transforming my body to be a more active person, because I want to live that active lifestyle. And the way I'm doing it right now, everything that I do is building me towards that ultimate goal. Uh, with Amazon, I'm basically running 7 hours a day, delivering packages in the van, out the van, up steps, up driveways, doing whatever else I need to do to get my job done. I will say that having an active job really does help you build towards having an active lifestyle.
So, would you like to thank America for being greedy and wanting stuff all the time so that you can deliver these Amazon packages? I mean, there's a limitless supply. There's never going to be enough delivery drivers for all these packages people want to order.
That is a true fact. And I'm a capitalist. And I'm proud to say that I believe in the capitalist system. There's a whole nother aspect to that I'm not going to go into at the current moment. So I don't have an issue with Amazon being what they are and what they've been able to figure out, because they employ me. Oh, I'm employed by a company that's contracted by Amazon. I'll clear that up. Amazon does not hire a single driver. They have logistics companies that get formed, and they pay them to handle all the liability, the vehicles, managing personnel, and those sort of things. So I'm very happy that Amazon exists and that people order from Amazon daily. So I can go to work every day and run around and deliver packages and do all the things I do, because without people spending money, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in.
I'm amazed that people even have money to spend these days. The pay rate at any job is just low compared to the amount of stuff that they expect you to do. And then there's all these taxes we have to pay, and there's medical insurance we have to pay. And I'm working on something big, and I'm going to want feedback from you, audience, or anyone. If you're upset at your job, please contact me. I want to know what the real issues are, because if we start communication, maybe we can change the work world. I'm not talking forming unions. I'm talking change things fundamentally. And that's what we need for the world, for society. And that's what Jay and I are trying to do, is fundamentally try to change the system through communication.
That is the best way to put it. Without communication, we don't get anywhere. And unfortunately, there is a group of people who understand that, and they use that idea as a weapon against us people. That's the reason that we're fighting amongst each other over things that are out of our control. And people are willing to die for their beliefs at this point. And it's incredibly sad to know that people are willing to die over this belief they have that was manufactured by somebody who's just using it to extract their resources. And if we can change some minds along the way and help people understand that on their terms, maybe we can help start dismantling this dysfunctional system and work together as we the people. After all, we the people live with each other, we work with each other, we interact with each other, and there's zero reason that we should hate each other based on the color of our skin or the gender of our body, or if we don't fit into the cultural norms that people would expect. There's zero reason to be mad at somebody for living life the way they do, unless they've injured somebody else along the way, then there's a difference. But outside of that, being people and working together with other people would ultimately help dismantle this dysfunctional system, because we, the people, start talking about how we don't accept this anymore. It really could change a lot of things.
It's changing a lot of things right now. I just want to say we, the people, are tired of you, the government, you, the leaders, you, the politicians, you, the people in charge of making the rules. We, the people, are tired of you enforcing your will on us when all we need to do is work together. It's not, shouldn't be us versus you. It should be us all working together to solve our common problems so we can all live in peace. And it's not about greed, it's not about money, it's about doing what's right.
You're absolutely right. And unfortunately, the evilest people will always do two things: they will steal the power and they will extract the resources for themselves. That's unfortunately what happens. It's a slippery slope to having freedom. And part of the issue is they've fundamentally been taking our freedoms away to make it far more difficult for us people to live the lives we choose to live, because it costs more. There's laws in place that prevent us from doing certain things. And you look at those things and it's like, well, why would somebody not want me to do certain thing? Oh, well, it's because they would not profit as much.
Right, they all
So
want their cut of the pie. That's why we have to pay
yeah,
for insurance. That's why we have to pay for all of this stuff because they don't want to do what they were meant to do. I think if government worked the way it was intended to work, things would be fine, but it's not working the way it was intended to work. That power, that greed, it just got to everyone's head. But if you think about it, the way it was set up, in simple terms, if we followed that, things would be fine. There'd be plenty of resources, there'd be plenty of money, and maybe people wouldn't be so gosh darn lazy.
yeah, that would be the hope. And unfortunately, there's a group of people that are actively pushing people to be lazy and be dependent on others because they know that's how they keep control and power over people. And the more that you leave that system, the more labels that get put on your name. And I'm okay with that because I don't want to be hooked into the pharmaceutical industry. I don't want to be hooked into the processed food industry. I don't want to be hooked into living off the government. I don't want those things. I personally want to be able to make my own life choices because I know what's best for my life. Somebody who sits in Washington, who's never met me, who doesn't know who I am, who doesn't know my story, and doesn't know how I live, has no clue what it takes for me to live through my daily life.
Yeah, I completely agree, and we could probably talk for hours and hours on this, but I know your time's limited. You have to get to work, and we'll pick up this
Yes.
conversation on another day where we'll talk in great detail, I'm sure, and we'll probably both get really amped up.
Oh yeah, that's a for sure.
All right. So I'm going to close this episode out then. In closing, we would like to say that the opinions expressed here were strictly of our own making or by some guests. Take what you like and leave the rest. You may come to realize that you may not like us or what we want to share, but let's talk to each other, reason things out, but let there be no gossip or criticism of one another. Instead, let the fellowship of ethical human behavior and the serenity from positive human interaction help you grow and chill out one experience at a time. We would like to thank our higher powers for guiding us through this podcast. We hope to spread the message of love, hope, and understanding by touching one life at a time. If you like this podcast, please like and share it. Comments also help other struggling people find it. We are now listener supported, and if you would like to contribute, please feel free. There is no obligation. If you would like to share feedback, you can email Jen at averagehumanbeing1875@gmail.com or visit Jay on Twitter at earbudsmusic. There is also a link you can click if you'd like to send a voice message and add to the content of the show. Okay. Let me go back to this screen here. All right, so let's see. What did I write down with this episode? Damn, we hit on some topics in this episode, and I totally forgot about that. So what do you think of the show so far? Feedback would be great. Are you liking the podcast? You not liking the podcast? It'd just be a little nice to know where I stand. Anyway, I am still looking for people that would like to share like employment gripes, whether you're management, an employee. I'm curious because I know a lot of the things that I complain about at work are legitimate things. It's like lack of management listening to the workers and thinking that they know better. It's just people not listening to one another. And I think that ego gets in the way a lot of business. Like business could run so much smoother. I mean, just because people wear a suit and they have like a higher status, that doesn't mean that they're better than the people on the floor doing the production work. So I just want to hear from some people, and let's open a conversation. Maybe we can do a live stream one night. That would be fun. Anyway, have a great night, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.